So here today topic is problems of
Topic is
maxima and minima. Problems of maxima and minima. So here first we need to know the what is mean by maxima and what is mean by minima. So earlier we commonly we have used that maximum and minimum. So more or less meaning is same. There is no difference between that maxima and maximum. Okay. So here why we can use this kind of maxima and minima in our economics, where we can use this kind of words in our economics, right? So generally in order to discover this maxima and minima, or maximum and minimum value of a function. For example, when we are writing a function, we can write also whether the function is maxima or minima also. Or why we can write this that kind of functions when you are writing a functions. For example, z is equal to some 2x square or 4x square or something, right? So when you're writing that equation, the function, so why we can write that kind of equations, that functions. So in order to find out the whether the function is minima or maxima, and to find out the minimum and maximum points on the curves. For example, when we are discussing some theories in our economics, for example, law of diminishing marginal utility theory. For example, what we can do, for example, if you take when you're consuming, for example, when you're consuming some items, right? If you take into account chocolates or ice creams or etc. So when you're consuming some goods and services, so you want to maximize your satisfaction, maximize your satisfaction. At the same time, when you're doing something, so you need to minimize your cost and minimize your expenditure. For example, see, when you are going to construct a house, what is your main objective? So in order to minimize your cost and you need to get more benefit or more maximum satisfaction. So generally, when we are taking into account, so as the economic students or other students also they will follow. So we'll spend small amount of money and in order to get more satisfaction, right? So here in our economics, generally in our economics as well management, so we are required to maximize the utility obtained from goods and services. For example, if you take when you're running industries, right, or when you're running a business, so here you need to maximize your profits, right? So when you run, when you produce something, so you need to maximize your production, right? So and maximize your profits, maximize your satisfaction. So how you are going to get maximum satisfaction or maximum profit? So minimum cost, minimum cost, minimum cost. So as on we will do in our economics, right? Nothing but we will practically we will apply this kind of functions in our economics, right? So therefore the term optimization generally most of the times generally we can use that optimization. Optimization, what is meant by optimization? So it may be used in general both maximization as well as minimization. For example, what is meant by optimization? For example, so nothing but optimum levels. Generally when you are taking to consider some items, when you're consuming or when you're eating something, so you need to eat at your optimum level. Optimum level, nothing but sometimes we can use maximum, sometimes we can minimum. So nothing but see, when you're getting more satisfaction, that is called maximum. How you are going to get maximum satisfaction? By spending less amount, less amount. That is called minimum. Minimum amount. By spending minimum amount, you need to get maximum output or maximum satisfaction. So this optimization word can be used for both, not only maximization. It can be used for minimization. Nothing but optimum level. Nothing but at border level. Nothing but we can say that border. Nothing but optimal level and border level, right? So, so since in either case it implies the best results under the available circumstances. Nothing but available circumstances means whatever we have the resources, by using these resources we need to get maximum satisfaction, maximum satisfaction, maximum satisfaction. That's why we can use the optimization, right? So then, so for sometimes the term optional position is often applied to the equilibrium position. Equilibrium position. So when, for example, if you take into account demand theory or equilibrium, so this is a demand theory. Am I right? Right? So this is the supply theory. So supply curve, demand curve and supply curve. So where the demand and supply curves intersects, so we will get some equilibrium price. Equilibrium. This is called equilibrium point. Okay. This is the quantity demand and quantity supply. So here, when here see here we have to get, in order to get equilibrium, we need to reduce the demand and increase the supply. See, this demand will be decreases and supply will be increases, right? So here this point can be shows that optimum point or equilibrium point in our economics, right? So how it can be happen? From balancing the forces, the balancing force of demand is equal to supply, the balance force, nothing but where the demand and supply is equal, right? That is called D is equal to S. Where the demand and supply is equal, we will get an equilibrium point in our economics. So here, this is the optimum point, nothing but the supply is optimum point, demand is the optimum point. Then only we will get some equilibrium point. For example, sometimes, for example, here, if you want equilibrium, the demand curve should be like this. Okay. For example, if you want here, the supply curve should be like this. Okay. So here it can be get equilibrium price, or here we will get equilibrium price. Like that. So in order to how we can get this equilibrium point, optimum point, by forcing the demand and supply. So therefore we don't having no further tendency to change. So therefore there is no tendency to change from one equilibrium point to another equilibrium point when there is a only one forces. Sometimes if it is as we studied that changes in demand. So therefore it can be changes. See, so this is not a decision test. It is only gives an idea. For example, when we are studying optimization, so which will not give an decision, but which is an idea to get where the demand and supply curves can intersects, or where we can get on optimum level, where we can get at minimum level, nothing but maximum level and minimum level. For example, see at maxima, for example, if you take maxima dou y by dou x, when we can write this dou y by dou x, when we have the y is function of x, or y is equal to some 2x square something. Okay. So here at maxima we can write dou y by dou x. The sign will be plus to minus. For example, at minima, so dou y by dou x, its sign nothing but changes starts from minus to plus. Okay. So this is the one of the idea to bring out in order to understand that what is optimization and maximum minima. So when you are entered into that practical only, you will come to know that how we can get that maximum and minimum. Okay. So generally, see when you take into account. Yeah. So here, how we can optimize the multivariable function? See how we can optimization? How can we optimization of multivariable function? How can we optimize optimization of the multivariable function? So here, for example, as we know that multivariable function, what is the difference between multivariable function and single variable function? Yes, please.
Single variable function consists of only power value 1.
No.
No, sir.
Yeah. What about others?
One derivative function more than Indifferent variable.
Or sir,
Yes, please.
the
Relationship between
independent
one-
factors and the depending factors.
Somebody is saying, Ravi, tell me.
relationship between
Require
one dependent variable and more than independent variable.
See here, single variable function refers the relationship between one dependent variable,
One
one
var-
independent variable, one dependent,
Yes,
one
sir, sir.
independent, one
Yes, sir,
dependent and
exactly,
one
sir.
dependent. So that is
One
for example f of x. Okay, okay. Or if you take z is equal to f of x, that is single variable. What is multivariable function?
Whereas the
Further
dependent
reflection
function, it will be related to multiple, like more than one factor, sir.
more than
More than factors, nothing but independent variable. For example, multivariable function refers the relationship between one dependent variable and more than one independent
more than
one. For example, z is equal to f of x and y. So there are two independent variables. So therefore, it is called multivariable function. For example, if you take q is equal to f of x, y, z also. There are more than two independent variables. Nothing but more than one independent variable, nothing but multivariable. Okay. So this is a multivariable function. So for a multivariable function, such as for example, generally we discussed last day, z is equal to f of x comma y. Okay. So to be at a relative minimum and maximum. So for example, in order to get whether this function, is maxima or minima. For example, so here, for example, I am writing only this one, z is equal to function of x comma y. This is a multivariable function. So we want that whether this function is minima or maxima. How do you know that? How do we know that whether the function is minima or maxima? So here, in order to get the function is maxima or minima, see, I am repeating. So in order to get, sorry, in order to get that function or whether the function, in order to get whether the function, you can write whether the function is minima or maxima. So we need to have certain conditions. We need to follow certain conditions. So here, in order to get whether the function is minima or maxima, we need to follow three conditions. So here it means that, so we need to follow nothing but the three conditions must be meet. Three conditions must be meet. So then only we will get whether the function is maxima or minima. For example, some last day we discussed some of the functions, z is equal to x square or 3y square or 3xy or something, right? So we have followed, we have done a first order, a second order, third order, but we didn't discuss that whether the function is maxima or minima, right? So in order to get the whether the function, whether this kind of function, multivariable functions, is minima or maxima. So therefore we need to follow three conditions. Nothing but we must meet that three conditions. So what are the conditions? We'll come to know that. So here, generally here, when you read books, there are some people make say that, so there's the conditions for maximum and minimum. Simple, we can write heading conditions for maximum and minimum.
రావడమా ఏమంటాడు అల్లుడు అట్లా ఎట్లా కొంటారు కదా 10,000 విన్నావా 10,000 చూడండి 2013, 14 మోడల్ బండి ఉంటుంది 5,000 సంవత్సరాల బండి అంటుండు.
అమ్మ అల్లుడు ఎవరు ఇక్కడ? అమ్మ రామ్ ఎవరు? హూ ఇస్ రామ్?
Okay, sir.
Please unmute yourself. So here the conditions for maxima and minima. Okay, I'm writing shortcut max and min. That is called maxima and minima. You should write maxima and minima. Okay. So here, the first condition, what is the condition we need to fulfill, or what is the condition we need to follow? The first condition. So first condition, the first order partial derivative. See, the first order, I am writing PD, partial derivative shortcut, partial derivative must be, please all should be right. Otherwise you cannot understand the problem. The first order partial derivative must be obtained. Okay, and they made equal to 0. They made equal to 0. Then we will get critical values. Critical values. So here the condition, the first condition is the first order partial derivative must be obtained. Nothing but we need to find out the first order partial derivative. Nothing but zx or zy or qx or qy or qk or ql, like that. So we need to find out the first order. Nothing but here first order partial must be obtained. Nothing but we need to derive the results. Okay, and they made equal to 0. Nothing but we need to equal to 0. Whatever we will get, so we need to equal to 0. Then we will get the critical values. So the critical values should be, for example, a value or b value, or x value or y value, whatever they have given. For example, if they have given like this, z is equal to 2x square minus 4xy plus 6xy square, okay, plus 15, for example. If they have given, so the x and y values are the critical values. X values and y values are the critical values. If some, instead of x and y, so sometimes they may put a and b also, or k and l also. Okay, so that are the critical values of the respective value, whether a and b or x and y. Have you understood, please? Hello, right?
No, sir.
Jasmine.
Can you explain
Yes,
once
sir.
again?
Yeah, see, have you understood this point first? Whatever written. First order
Yes,
partial
sir.
derivative must be obtained. Nothing but when we have the function, for example, right? So here, for example, can you take any function? For example, I am taking this function only. Z is equal to 2x square plus 4xy minus 6y square plus 15x. Okay, 12y. For example, here, when you do the first derivative, what is zx and zy, right? How do you know? How do you get zx and zy? Jasmine. How we can get that zx value and zy value? Dou z by dou x, dou z by dou y. Am I right? Hello. Please respond. See, whatever we have done last day, how we can find out the first order? This is dou z by dou x, right? So like that, we need to get the values. So here 4x plus 4y, 15. So then we will need to find out the z by zx, dou z by dou y. So here 4x minus 12y plus 12. So after getting these results, we made equal to 0. Then made equal to 0. Next step you can write like this, made equal to 0. Then we can take the first and second order. Then we can take that, whether it can be cancelled. We can need to cancel x and y values. So how we can cancel? Then let me know that after the conditions only I will explain. Okay. First we need to know the how we can get that first order. I hope you understood. So when you cancel 4 and 4, you will get y value. When you cancel y value, you will get x value. Okay. That x and y values are called critical values. Yasmin?
Yes, sir, understood.
Yeah. Other people, have you understood? So just you can take into consider this point only up to now, then only you will come to know that when you are doing practicals. Yeah. I hope you understood, right? Hello, let me know that if you are not able to understand, I will repeat again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The second
Yes, sir.
condition. Second condition. For example, here the second condition is the second order. You can write second order partial derivative. Second order partial derivative must be obtained. Whatever we have done that second order also last day, the second order partial derivative must be obtained and check whether they are greater than 1 greater than 0 or less than less than 0. So in the bracket you can take greater than 0 or less than 0. So here see in the second order, second point, the second condition, we will say the second order partial derivative must be obtained. Nothing but whatever we are doing the second order, last day whatever we learn the second order, so that must be obtained. Nothing but zxx, zyy. I have understood that. So zxx means dou z by dou x, zyy nothing but dou zy by dou y. Right? So after getting that this order, nothing but see after getting this second order, we need to check whether the function whether they are greater than 0 or less than 0. Nothing but whatever we will get the values. So on the basis of these values, whether the value is greater than 0 or less than 0. It means that when you get positive values, nothing but in the plus values, it may be greater than 0. If you get minus values, -4 or -2 or -x, so it may be negatives. Right? This is less than 0. Am I right? Values.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. For example, here within the second condition, the A condition is there. If we get, see, if the second order here, if the second order, so I am writing shortcut, if the second order partial derivative or SO, nothing but second order partial derivatives are greater than 0, then the function then the function is minima. Simply you can remember this is opposite, right? When the second order partial derivatives value is greater than 0, then the function is called minima. For example, when we get greater than 0, it is called minima. Simple, you can remember that. Okay. Sorry. When the function is greater than 0, it is called minima. Opposite. Okay. Then within the second point, in the second, if the second order partial derivative are less than 0, then the function is maxima. Then the function is called maxima. For example, here if you put less than 0, it is called maxima. Have you understood? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
So when you get the values in the second order, if you get greater than 0, it is called, the function is called minima. If you get less than 0, the function is said to be maxima. Okay. So this is the second order, right? Then if you take into account third order, we have the third order also there. Third order. So in the third order, the product of second order. So please take the notes, otherwise you cannot understand. The product of second order partial derivative must be greater than cross partial whole square, greater than cross partial whole square. Have you understood this point? Whatever the second order is there, see the values. So that must be greater than the cross partial whole square. For example, here what I am writing, see the second order. What is the second order? What is second order, Amma? So here zxx and zyy. So here the product of second order, nothing but we should multiply this into this. Okay. So second order partial derivative must be greater than cross partial whole square. What is the cross partial whole square? Zxy or zyx. See why we are mentioning only one here, cross partial, because as we discussed last day, the cross partial whole square values are always same. Always same. Have you understood? So here, whatever will get the values, that should be whole square. So therefore, here we can write like this: cross partial whole square. So this is an example for the third order. The third order, the product of second order. The product of second order partial derivatives must be greater than cross partial whole square. That is the zxx into zyy should be greater than the zxy. That is the cross partial whole square. So this is the second order, Amma. These are called second order. So this is called cross partial derivative or cross partial whole square. Okay. So when you are writing whole square, that is called cross partial whole square, right? Then the fourth condition is simple. That is estimation of the total function. Estimation of the total function. So whatever we have done after the completion of this third step, so simple, whatever we will get x values and y values, so simple we can substitute these values in the main function. Then only we will get nothing but that is called estimation of the total function. Have you understood? Yes, please.
Sir.
See, just remember, you need to remember these four conditions, because this can be useful for the net and set exams also. For example, sometimes they may ask the question, arrange the chronological order of the conditions of maxima and minima. Though simple, you can remember that first. What is the first condition? The first condition is nothing but the first order. Simple, you can remember. Second, nothing but second order. Third is nothing but third order. Simple, remember that. So the first condition is nothing but the first order partial derivatives must be obtained, then made equal to 0. Then we will get the critical values. That is over. Then what is second order? So second order partial derivative must be obtained. Then we will get. Then check whether the function is maxima or minima. So when it is minima and when it is maxima, when we will get greater than 0, that function is minima. When we get less than 0, it is called maxima. Remember? Okay. So generally we can use the term maxima, nothing but more, minimum nothing but less. But here in the functions, so when we are getting less than 0, nothing but when you get negative values, that function is called maxima. Okay. When you get more than 0, that function is called minima. Remember? Okay. Then what is the third order? So third order, nothing but the product of second order must be greater than cross partial whole square. Cross partial whole square. It means that so whatever we have done second order values, whether the positive, negative, or maxima or minima, so that should be compared with the cross order, nothing but the third order. That should be whole square, right? Whatever will get the cross values, so that should be whole square. So when we compare with the cross partial derivatives and second order derivatives, the second order derivative must be greater than cross partial whole square. So these are three conditions are very essential, and it can be useful for the other exams also. Okay. And the fourth one is the estimation of the total function. Estimation of the total function. I hope you understood what are the conditions of maximum and minima. So when you do practicals only, we'll get that knowledge how it can be maximum, how it can be minimum. Yeah, I think let me know that.